What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Phoenix here, and welcome back to a brand new Marvel Spider-Man 2 video. And today's video, we're going to be discussing how Gwen Stacy could make her appearance in Marvel Spider-Man 2. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button as well. And without a doubt, let's go ahead and get right into it. So this article is coming from the ScreenRant.com, and it says, shortly before its release, Insomniac Games of Marvel Spider-Man hinted about Gwen Stacy's fate in the universe of the games. The hints align with some other deviations from the traditional Spidey timeline that Insomniac's universe has taken, paired with the character's surge in popularity, and it seems more and more likely that a version of Spider-Gwen could possibly make an appearance in the upcoming Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, you guys already know, with the surge in popularity, there is a huge chance, because Spider-Gwen has become, increased to people's top 3 when it comes to spider people. So honestly, her making her own appearance in the game would be amazing. It would be a breath of fresh air. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be amazing to see her with a surge of popularity that she already has along with that. But following that, it also says if Gwen is alive, it will line up with the fact that Norman has not yet become the Goblin in Insomniac's universe, who infamously is responsible for Gwen's death and other storylines. While these clues aren't an outright confirmation that Gwen is alive and well in the game's universe, it does imply that the devs may be saving her for a future storyline. Now, as you guys know, Insomniac made a tweet saying, who said that Gwen is dead in our universe? That clearly implies that she is not dead. Now that makes a lot of people think. That makes me think, and that makes us think that she is alive and well in the Insomniac universe. So that could obviously be one. Now, we're gonna go ahead and get into Across the Spider-Verse storylines. So at the end of Across the Spider-Verse, Gwen opened up a portal to go to Earth 42. Now, who's to say that she didn't go to Earth 42? I think that she went to Earth. Say she ends up in 1048. Because as you guys know, this lines up with another tweet from the Hip Hop Gamer a while back that said that Marvel Spider-Man 2 might have a realm or a world shifting mechanic. Now, say she ends up going through the portal and ends up in the Insomniac's universe. And she sees, and she starts looking around and starts wondering where she is, because this isn't, the right Earth that she was trying to go to. She ended up in Earth 1048, which would mean that she would see a Peter and a Miles, which means that both of those two could be ending up right there, and she would be confused where she is. Now, the next theory really interests me a little bit more, because this involves Yuri. And it says right here, it says, although it can't be said for sure, it certainly feels inevitable that Gwen Stacy will make an appearance in the upcoming Marvel Spider-Man 2, with theories suggesting Yuri Watanabe may be involved in Gwen's introduction. Now, as you guys know, at the end of the City Never Sleeps DLC in DLC 2, which is Turf Wars, Yuri did turn into Wraith following the next DLC, which is Silver Lining. She did turn into Wraith. Now, obviously, that means that she is now done with being the captain of the NYPD. Now, this leads me into what is going to be known as the next captain of the New York City Police Department, which I think is obviously going to be George Stacy, because with Yuri out, they need a new captain. So who's to say that George Stacy doesn't exist in their universe as well? Notice how they only said Gwen isn't dead in our universe. Notice how they said, who said Gwen Stacy is dead in our universe? That automatically makes me think that Gwen and her dad George have to be alive in this. And we can get introduced to George Stacy via sometime in the game. Say, at some point in the game, George doesn't think that Spider-Man's doing his job or whatever. And you see Gwen over here that's obviously, liking Spider-Man and stuff like that, that honestly thinks that Spider-Man, is, a good guy. Now, that could be a great way to start it off. Now, another way that this could work is for the fact that, now this involves everything from George Stacy's dad to, Miles going to ESU, which, by the way, we're actually getting into that right now. So there was a huge plot point that Miles is going to be going to ESU. Now, make Gwen around his age, and she's going to college as well. So think about that. we already have leeway, and we already have Miles being in the game as well, along with the fact that we now are going to potentially have Spider-Gwen in the game as well. So that could open up a lot more doors. And on top, not to mention, having a refreshing new character in the game is going to be amazing as well. But following that, it also says right here in this article, it says, even though Gwen may be alive in Insomniac's Spider-Man universe, her role could take a different shape than what has been established in other Spidey media. The traditional depiction of Gwen sees her as Peter's first love interest. Marvel Spider-Man touched on Peter's tortured love life, but with Mary Jane Watson and Felicia Hardy, Black Cat, Gwen wasn't mentioned at all in the game, leaving many asking where Gwen Stacy is in Insomniac's Spider-Man universe. Now, this is how I think that could possibly go about. Now, seeing as that they have already touched on Peter's tortured love life with Mary Jane, because right now, Peter is going out with MJ right now in the game. Now, who's to say that Miles could not have a love interest as well? With this, notice how that would eliminate one. The only reason I'm saying is because, like, Miles could have a love interest, and Peter already has one in the form of MJ. So that would eliminate two things right there. That would honestly eliminate, and that would honestly keep Peter away because he's going to be with MJ. That could honestly just scrape that whole entire storyline, which I actually do agree with. That storyline can be scraped because that storyline can be scraped instead of, you know, Peter fighting Goblin. That could be different, and we all know she dies by Goblin, which I feel like that can be dropped down and it could be Miles and Gwen. But following that, it ends up saying that in any case, locking her role as yet another one of Peter's love interests would be disappointing, especially given the popularity of the Spider-Gwen variant of the character. In the Spider-Verse storylines, Gwen Stacy takes on the mantle of Ghost Spider when her Peter Parker perishes after becoming the Lizard. This is a much more exciting take on Gwen Stacy, but killing off Peter doesn't seem likely for Insomniac's universe, and neither does a multiverse. This opens up possibilities for a new origin story for Spider-Gwen, maybe even one where she fights alongside Peter and Miles in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, killing off Peter, I do not agree with because they want to keep Peter alive. Now, here's the thing where I'm going to kick it to you guys. For a new origin story, I have this idea. They can keep everything from across the Spider-Verse, make her original, you know what I'm saying? Make her join a band or whatever, make her stay in a band, or at least make her the lead drummer for it. And following that, you can also keep her dad as captain, seeing as that, you know, there's no sort of captain right now ever since Yuri left. And make that whole entire interaction the same as, you know, her dad not liking Spider-Man. Of course, you know, we all know that, you know, Spider-Gwen's going to be in there, so she's not going to tell her dad that, you know, that she's Spider-Gwen as well, and she's going to keep all of that in there. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Just keep all of that in there. And other than that, it's been your boy Phoenix, and I'll see you guys later on a spectacular Spidey Webtastic banger.